Good morning, students. In the previous class, we see some formula involving a binomial distribution. The formula of binomial distribution is P of capital X is equal to small at x, NCx, P power x and Q power n minus x. The value of x is start from 0 to n. The same model problem we continue, but in one or two questions, the word binomial is not involved. Depending upon our given question, for our easy purpose, we do the problem by the using of the binomial distribution. In the exercise 11.5, the fourth one, the probability that a certain kind of component will serve an electrical test is 3 by 4. Certain one component will serve an electrical test is 3 by 4. Find the probability that exactly 3 of 5 components tested serve. Suppose 5 components are taken, then exactly 3 will suppose a survive, then what is the probability? Now you see the question, the word binomial is not involved. So we solve the problem in so many ways, but we using the binomial distribution, the answer is very simplest. So now we do the problem by the binomial distribution. Given, first of all, you identify the value of n. Suppose we use a binomial distribution, the 3 values are very, very important. The values are n, p and q, where n is the number of trial. Here we will be taking the trial probability that exactly 3 of how many components? 5 components. So the value of n is equal to 5. And as our electrical test is, the value is 3 by 4. So the value of 3, p is equal to 3 by 4. P is a probability of success. So the probability of a survival is nothing but our success. So P value is 3 by 4. Next, automatically to find a Q, the formula of a Q is 1 minus P. So 1 minus the value of P is 3 by 4. So the value of a Q is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4. So the value of a Q is 1 by 4. We cross multiply, 4 minus 3 is 1. So 1 by 4. Now we use the problem by the using of the binomial distribution. So we write the formula. By binomial distribution, P of capital X is equal to small at x. The formula is n x, P power x and Q power n minus x. Always the value of x start from 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n. Here we identify what is the value of the small letter x. Now you see the question, to find the probability that exactly 3 of 5 components. The word exactly is given using the symbol is equal. For understanding purpose, I write here x value is equal to 3. No need to write, directly we substitute the value. Here the value small at x is also is equal to 3. Now we substitute all the values. The value of the small at is 3. N value is given 3. P value we know, and also to find the value of a q. Now we substitute all the values in the formula. Therefore, P of x is equal to 3. The value of x is equal to 3. NCx, the value of n is 5. 3. P power x, the value of p is given. The value of p is 3 by 4. Power x, the value of x is 3. Next is q, the value of q is 1 by 4. And whose power is n minus x, the value of n is 5 minus 3. So we write a 5C3 as 5C3. 3 by 4 the whole cube and 1 by 4 the whole square. 5 minus 3 is 2. We already tell, suppose the power is goes more than 5, we leave. Suppose if it is less than 5, we simplify. The value of 5C3, 5 into 4 into 3 by 1 into 2 into 3. We directly write the value of 3 by 4 the whole cube. The value of 3 by 4 the whole cube. The value of 3 cube is 27 by In denominator, the value of 4 cube. We have the answer 4 4s are 16, 16 4s are 64. But 1 4 is there, so in cancelling purpose, I write as it is. And 1 by the value of 1 square is 1 and the value of 4 square is 16. In this 4, 1 4 is cancelled. And 1 3 3 is also cancelled. Then what is the remaining numerator? 5 into 27. This 5. 27 ones are 27. Denominator, 2 ones are 2. What is the remaining here? In 4 cube, 1 4 is cancelled. The remaining is the 4 square into 16. So the value of 5 into 27. So you directly multiply the value of 5 into 27. 7 5 are 35. 5 remaining is 3. 5 2 are 10. 10 plus 3 is 30. So 135. The value of the denominator 2. 4 square is 16 into again 1 16. So 135 by 2 into 16 16 are 256. So the value of P of x is equal to 3 is 135 divided by 2 into 256 is a 512. So the required probability value is 135 by 512. You see that value is lies between 0 to 1. You know very well all the probability value is always lies between 0 to 1. The next question is, you see the 5. A retailer purchases a certain kind of electronic device from a manufacturer. Okay, a retailer. Suppose one a manufacturer is a factory, it's nothing but a factory. He purchases some electronic device. Some electronic device will be purchases. The manufacturer indicates that the defective rate of the device is 5%. The manufacturer indicates out of whose manufacturing there will be 5% will be defective. The inspector of the retailer randomly picks 10 items from a shipment. How many items are picked is very important. 10 items. What is the probability that there will be, first one, at least one defective item. Second one is exactly 2 defective items. So many items are there in a shipment. The inspector of the retailer is randomly picks how many items? 10 items. Suppose this out of 10 items, at least one is a defective item, then what is the probability? There is a chance. Out of this 10, any one of the item, it may be defective or non-defective. It's a chance. Suppose if it is a defective, what is the chances? And exactly 2 defective items. Out of this 10, suppose 2 is there, then what is the probability? You see in this question also, the word binomial is not involved. But we do the problem by using the concept of the binomial distribution. Suppose we use the binomial distribution, we already tell the 3 points are very, very important. The points are N, P and Q, where N is the number of trial. The inspector of the retailer picks how many items? 10 items. So the value of N is 10. And we find all of the probability that at least one defective. So here the defective item is the probability of a success. Okay. The inverse type manufacturer, the defective rate of the device is, okay, the manufacturer indicates that the defective rate of the device is 5%. So 5% is the value of P. If you know the value of P, then directly we find the value of Q. So now we solve the problem by the concept of the binomial distribution. First, we write the value of N. Given the value of N is 10. In this sum, the value of N is 10 because we will be taking 10 items. And the defective indicates the defective rate of the device is 5%. So 5% is the value of P. So P is equal to 5%. Now I convert. We write a 5% as 5 by 100. So the value of P is 0.05. 2 decimal is needed. So 0.05 is the value of P. Next, we find the value of a q. The formula q is 1 minus p. 1 minus 0.05. So the value of q is 0.95. Now we solve the problem by the using of the binomial distribution. So we write the formula. By binomial distribution, P of capital X is equal to small x is equal to NCX, NX, P power x, Q power n minus x, where x is start from 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n. So first we write the formula. Now we go to the sum. There will be two subdivisions will be x. The first one is at least and the second one is XZ. The XZ symbol is equal and the at least symbol is greater than or is equal. So to find both the cases, the first case is to find the probability at least one defective item. At least one defective item. We will be taking out of 10. At least one is defective, then what is the probability value? So we write in symbol form. So to find probability, P of X denote the defective item. Very important, X denote the defective items. So X is greater than or is equal to 1. The value of X is greater than or is equal to 1. Here X denotes the defective item is understood. We write instead of previous, let X denote the defective item or no need is understood. Always X is a defective item in the problem. So at least one defective item, P of X is greater than or is equal to 1. At least means minimum is 1. So maximum how will come? It goes up to 10 because we fix 10 items. But we write we start from 1, 2, 3 etc. to 10 probability value we find. It's a long process. So using the concept to find that one, I say this value is 1 minus P of X is less than 1. We already see the formula. What is the formula? P of X is greater than or is equal to A. Whose formula is 1 minus P of X is less than A. Greater than or is equal is the whose reverse is the P of X is less than A. Using this formula, in place of A here 1, so I write this one. P of X is less than 1. What is the value of the less than 1 here? The value of X is always start from 0 in a binomial distribution. The value of X, the minimum value is always 0. So less than 1, that means it has only one value. That value is X is equal to 0. Here only one value is possible. Why we write just X is equal to 0? X is less than 1, so less than 1 value is 0. So 1 minus P of X is equal to 0. Now we substitute the value, this one, in place of minus, minus. Now we use the formula of P of X is equal to 0 by the concept of the binomial distribution. The binomial distribution starts from NCX. Here exactly the value of X is equal to 0. What is the value of N here? 10. 0. NCX. P power X. What is the value of P? We already find the value of P is 0.05. Power X. The value of X is 0. And Q. The value of Q is 0.95. That value is also we already find 0.95. Whose power is a N minus X. The value of N is 10 minus 0. 1 minus, we write a 10 is 0. I say that value is 1. Any number power 0 is always 1. And it is 0.95 whole power 10. 10 minus 0 is just 10. 1 minus, this value is also 1. 10 C 0 is there, so 1. 1. So 0.95 whole power 10. So P of X is greater than or is equal to 1. Greater than or is equal to 1. That value is 1 minus. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 0.95 whole power 10 is 0.95 whole power 10. So 0.95 whole power 10. So this is the probability value of the first one. You see that value is always less than 1. So first one process is over. Now we find the second subdivision. What is the second subdivision? The second subdivision is exactly are two defective items. The value exactly is given, the symbol is equal. So to find P of x is equal to 2. Just P of x is equal to 2. This value only we substitute, we get the answer. Same, the formula is start from NCX, the value of n, 10. Here exactly the value of x is 2. P power x, P 0.05, whose power x is 2. Q 0.95, whose power n minus x, 10 minus 2. 10, 2, 0.05 the whole square, and 0.95 whole power 8. 10 minus 2 is 8. So it is a value of P of x is equal to 2. I stopped here. No, there is no simplification. What is the reason to don't simplify here? You see the power is more than 5. So the simplification is no need. Suppose the power is less than 5 number, then we simplify. It's nothing but 10c2. Here there is a chance to simplification. But here the power is more than 5, no need the simplification, so it is a value of that one. It's important you use the problem by the concept of the binomial distribution. In one or two problem, the value binomial distribution is not given. Depending upon our given sum, we using the concept of binomial distribution, our answer will come. Next question. Is the probability that a fluorescent light has a useful life of at least 600 hours is 0.9. That is, at least in a minimum 600 hours we check, the fluorescent light useful life is 0.9. 0.9 means 90% there is a chance of a minimum 600 hours function. Then there will be 3 cases is that find the probabilities that among 12 such lights. So we will be taking 12 such lights. So we will be taking just 12. 3 subdivisions to find. Exactly 10 will have a useful life of at least 600 hours. Taking a 12. Suppose this out of 12 is exactly 10 will have a useful life. That is 10 is a maximum purpose. Then what is the probability? The next one is at least 11 will have a useful life of at least 600 hours. So here important the word exactly. Here important the word is at least. This at least is a minimum 600 hours. So you don't consider this at least. The word exactly 10 will. So in first case we using the symbol is equal. Second one, at least 11 will. So at least is greater than or is equal. Third one you see at least 2 will not have a useful life. Is important is not. This 2 one is a useful life, and the subdivision 3 at least 2 will not have a useful life of at least 600 hours. This is a 5 mark question. You see this problem also does not contains the word binomial. So now we solve the problem by using the concept of the binomial distribution. It's an easy one. So we use the sum by the concept of a binomial distribution, but the word is not given. But depending upon our given sum, we solve the problem by using the binomial. The answer is the simplest. So to find 3 concepts. First, we solve the problem by the binomial distribution. Then we need 3 values. The values are n, p and q. Here what is the value of n? You identify. We will be taking the sample of how many lights? 12 lights. So the value of n is 12. And a fluorescent light as a useful life at least 600 hours is given 0.9. So the function is nothing but probability of a success. So p value is 0.9. So the value of p is 0.9. Then automatically the value of q is 0.1. So all values are understood. First we write. Okay, here the random variable x denote the number of fluorescent light. It may be a function. Suppose a 2 is a function, the value of x is 2. 5 is a function, x is equal to 2. At least 2 is greater than or is equal to 1. Or greater than or is equal to 2. At least 1 is greater than or is equal to 1. At least 2 means greater than or is equal to 2. So first we need the value of n, p and q. First of all we write x denote, where x denote the number of fluorescent light. You see, let x denote first of all the number of fluorescent light. Given the value of n is 12. The value of n is 12. That is, we will be taking the 12 sample basis. So n is 12. And the value of p is given 0.9. We already tell the useful life is nothing but probability of success. So the value of p is 0.9. Then directly also we write the value of q. I directly write the value of q is 0.1. Probability of success is 90%, means the probability of failure is 10%. If you know very well, then directly we use the value. How it comes 0.1? The formula of q is 1 minus p. 1 minus 0.9 is 0.1. By using the concept of binomial distribution, so we write the formula. By binomial distribution, p of capital X is equal to small to x. The formula is NCX. P power x and q power n minus x. The value of x is start from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. So formula needed all points are find it. N, p and q. And also we write the formula. Now we move the first one. What is the first subdivision? Exactly 10 will have a useful life. Exactly 10 will have a useful life. Actually, no need to write the heading. We directly write the symbol. For understanding purpose, I write the subdivisions. Exactly 10 will have a useful life. P of, where useful life of a fluorescent light you will be taking it is x. How many light? Exactly 10. The word exactly is given is equal 10. So to find P of x is equal to 10. Okay. The value of x is here 10 by the concept of the binomial distribution. The formula of binomial distribution is NCX. The value of n is 12. 12. And it is 10. P power x. The value of p 0.9. Power x is here exactly 10. And q is 0.1. Q value is 0.1. Whose power is n minus x. The value of n is 12 minus 10. So 12 minus 10. 12, 10. 0.9 whole power 10. And 0.1 whole power 2. 12 minus 10 is 2. So the answer is over. So first one answer is 12, 10. 0.9 whole power 10, 0.1 whole square. You see the power is more than 10. So no need to find the simplification. Actually we write 12C2 as 12C2 also. Yes, we write. 12C10 is also is equal to 12C2. 12 minus 10 is 2. But is more than 5, no need the simplification of the first one. So the first one subdivision is over. Now we find the second subdivision. What is the second subdivision? Is exactly at least 11 will have a useful life. 11 will have a useful life. First we identify the symbol. Word is over. We identify the symbol. Here exactly 10. So the symbol is P of x is equal to 10. To find all probability value. So P of, to find probability first of all. Okay. Next, the random variable symbol x. How many will have a useful life? At least 11. The word at least is given. The symbol of at least is greater than or is equal to how many? 11. So to find that value, P of x is greater than or is equal to 1. Greater than or is equal to 11 means the value of x, it may be 11 or more than 11. So the value of x is top up to. To find the value of x is top up to 12. Because we will be taking 12 lines or such lines only. So the value of x is greater than or is equal to 11 means the value of x, it may be 11 or 12. Here we don't use the formula of 1 minus p of x is less than 11. Suppose we use a less than 11 concept. We start from p of x is equal to 0 up to 11. It's a lengthy process. But we write as it is. We have just to find a two probability value. So p of x is greater than or is equal to 11 means it may be p of x is equal to 11 or it's nothing but plus p of x is equal to 12. We find just these two probability value only. Greater than or is equal to 11 means it may be 11 or 12. Maximum number of sample phases 12 only. So more than 12 is not possible. So just we find the two probability value, we get the answer of that one. Now we find the simplification. Here p of x is equal to 11 and p of x is equal to 12. In first case exactly the value of x is 11. The formula is M.Sc x12 C 11. P power x, the value of p is 0.9 whose power x is 11 and q 0.1 and power is n minus x, the value of n is 12 minus 11. The next one is plus. Here x is 12, so 12, here also 12. Next 0.9 power 12, N.C. x, p power x. Next q power n minus x, the value of q is 0.1 whose power is 12 minus 12. Why I write 12 minus 12? N minus x, the value of n is 12. The value of x is also here 12. 12C11. We write it is 12C11. 0.9 whole power 11. 0.1 whole power 1. 0.1. 12 minus 11 is just 1. 12C12. 12C12. 0.9 whole power 12. We write it is 0.1 whole power 0. 0.9 whole power 12. 0.1 whole power 12 minus 12 is 0. We write 12C11 is also 12C1. Okay? 12C11 we write it is 12C1 because 12C11 NC or NC n minus r, 12 minus 11 is 1. 0.9 whole power 11 is just 0.1. We know that value is always 1. Both the numbers are same, that value is 1. 0.9 whole power 12 and 0.1 whole power 0. Any number power 0, the value is also 1. What is the value of 12C1 is 12. 0.9 whole power 11 into 0.1. 1 ones are just 1. 0.9 whole power 12. Here there is some simplification. 0.9 whole power 11 and 0.9 whole power 12. So in these two terms, which one is common? I will take outside the common term. That is 0.9 whole power 11. 11, 12. The minimum power is 11. So I will take 0.9 whole power 11. What is the remaining first term? 12 of 0.1. 12 of 0.1. In 0.9 whole power 12, we will be take outside 0.9 whole power 11. Remaining one, 0.9 is the plus 0.9. We multiply inside, we get the answer. Okay, now we simplify the inside of the box. 12 into 0.1 is a 1.2. So how we write is equal to 0.9 whole power 11 12 into 0.1 as 1.2. 1.2 plus 0.9. So 0.9 whole power 11 into 2.1. Okay. 1.2 plus 0.9. We add this to 2 plus 9, 11 in 1. Remainder is 1. So 2.1. So the answer of P of x is greater than or is equal to 11 is 2.1 into 0.9 whole power 11. So at least 11 will have a useful life probability is 2.1 into 0.9 whole power 11. You don't confuse, sir, the probability value of it comes at more than 1. You see, this one is product with 0.9 whole power 11. The final simplification it should be lies in 0 point something because 0.9 whole power 11. We multiply 0.9 11 times. It's a 0.00 something when value is aga. So the final answer will come in lies between 0 to 1. So the second subdivision is over. To find the probability of at least 11 will have a useful life. The third one is differ. No need the simplification, the word simplification. Directly we write the sums. But if we write the word, you know very well the understanding purpose. At least 2 will not have a useful life. The word not is important here. In the previous 2, the word not is not given. But here, at least 2 will not have a useful life. What is the meaning of that line? Minimum 2 will not have a useful life. Minimum 2. So maximum, it may be 3, 4, 5, etc. up to 12. The same meaning of that line, I have one more, right? Now to find P of, that means probability of to find same. At least 2 will not have a useful life. This one is nothing but I say probability of at most 10 will have a useful life. How it is possible, sir? 2 will not have a useful life. That means minimum 2 will not have a useful life. So minimum 2, it may be 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. This one is exactly is equal to probability of the reverse of at least is at most. The reverse of 2 is here 10. Now we see is nothing but probability of at most 10 will have a useful life. At most 10. At most means maximum is a 10 will have a useful life. Minimum is a 10, 9, 8, 7, etc. up to 0. So the word at least 2 will not have a useful life. 2 will not have a useful life is nothing but probability of at most 10. What is the reason to use a 10 means totally we will be taking 12 items. If a 2 will not have a useful life, so the maximum 10 will have a useful life. So P of at most 10 will have a maximum life. So P of at most 10 will have a useful life. Now we use the symbol. The number of fluorescent lights will be taken is X. At most. The symbol of at most is less than or is equal to 10. At most means maximum is 10 and minimum it may be 9 like 9, 8, 7 like this. So to find P of x is less than or is equal to 10. P of x is less than or is equal to 10 means it may be 9, 8, 7 etc. up to 10. So the process is lengthy. So in this purpose I write it is your choice, we write in by one or here also we write. P of x is less than or is equal to 10. By using the concept I write P of x is greater than 10. Using the formula of again P of x is less than or is equal to a formula is 1 minus P of x is greater than a. Using this concept I write. Okay, now we move here 1 minus P of x is greater than 10. P of x is greater than 10 means it may be 11 or 12. P of x is 11 plus P of x is 12. Greater than 10 means it may be 11 or 12. No need to find this probability value. We already find that value. It's nothing but P of x is greater than or is equal to 2. You see the simplification of the second one. The simplification of the second one. P of x is equal to 11 plus P of x is equal to 12. The simplification, P of x is equal to 11 plus P of x is equal to 12. We do the same process. What is the final answer? 2.1 into 0.9 whole power 11. So you write the same answer here also. 2.1 into 0.9 whole power 11. So it is the value of P of x is less than or is equal to 10. So it is actually the reverse of the second subdivision. So the third subdivision is also over. No need to find again one by one step. It's the same sum. So we already find that value. So just we enter that value. So which is the required probability.